Now let's talk about another MCQ regarding the thyroid complication. So which of the following will not result in a hoarseness of voice after thyroid surgery, right? So your options are: number A, dissecting or retracting the strap muscle; number B, exploding the Bates triangle; number C is a tubercle of Zucker-Kendall dissection; number D, that is ligating the superior thyroid vessels. Okay. So now let's try to understand what are the causes that will eventually leads to hoarseness of voice in post-thyroid surgery, right? So as we can able to understand your cause of the hoarseness of voice, that is the nerve that are going to be injured during the thyroid surgery, which are eventually supplies either the vocal cord or the larynx, right? That will eventually leads to the formation of hoarseness of voice. Now, in case thyroid surgery, this two important nerve, that is your recurrent laryngeal nerve and the external branch of the superior laryngeal nerve, these are the two important branch which will eventually result if injured as a result of hoarseness of voice. Now, your number one thing, that is your recurrent laryngeal nerve. First of all, we have to understand while dissecting during the thyroidectomy, there is few important landmarks, and among them two important landmarks has been asked in this option. So number one is your Bates triangle. Now this Bates triangle is basically helps us to determine or identify where the recurrent laryngeal nerve is, so that we can prevent any inadvertent injury while dissection. Now let's try to understand what are the boundaries of this triangle. Now your boundary is, number one is your common carotid artery. Okay, that is basically forming the base. So this is your common carotid artery. Then your superior border of this triangle basically formed by the inferior thyroid artery, which is eventually a branch of thyrocervical trunk. So it is a branch of thyrocervical trunk, and that thyrocervical trunk itself is a branch of subclavian artery, right? Subclavian artery. So this is your inferior thyroid artery, right? Now the lateral border, the medial border of this triangle has been formed by the recurrent laryngeal nerve. So this is your recurrent laryngeal nerve. Now, if you are able to identify this triangle, that means you are able to identify the recurrent laryngeal nerve, so that any inadvertent injury during the surgery that can be prevented. Okay. So this is the number one importance of this triangle or this landmark. Another important landmark which has been asked in this option, that is your tubercle of Zucker-Kendall. So this tubercle of Zucker-Kendall is nothing, it's a posterior projection of lateral thyroid lobe. Now this posterior projection of the lateral thyroid lobe, that basically stays behind the tracheoesophageal group, right? So it is basically an important landmark to identify the recurrent laryngeal nerve while doing the operations. Okay, so by simply just identifying this a projection, posterior projection of the lateral thyroid lobe, we can easily able to prevent any inadvertent injuries of the nerve. Okay, so these are the two important landmarks that has been asked in this option. So obviously there is some risk is there while doing dissection near this area, so we have to be very cautious. Like there is the nearest location of the recurrent laryngeal nerve, so we have to be very cautious. Okay, now we have the external branch of superior laryngeal nerve, so that can be injured while dissecting the superior pedicle or superior thyroid vessels pedicle, or while ligating the superior thyroid vessels pedicle. There is a chances of injury to the external branch of superior laryngeal nerve. Okay, that eventually controls the cricothyroid muscle, which is eventually leads to high pitch modulation and subtle hoarseness in that case if this nerve is going to be injured. But in case of recurrent laryngeal nerve, that might be your unilateral or bilateral, but there is a prominent hoarseness of voice has been seen if there is injury of the recurrent laryngeal nerve. In that case, even there is a production of stridor as well in such cases, specifically in case of bilateral cases, specifically in bilateral injury cases. Okay, now there is a wonderful chart has been given for you guys. So let's try to understand and the option as well. So number one option that has been given there is your strap muscle dissection and the retraction. So while doing the strap muscle dissection and the retraction, there is a no risk to the nerve is there. So that means there is a no hoarseness of voice. So this is going to be your answer, student. This one is going to be your answer. But yes, as I have already mentioned, exploring Bell's triangle, also exploring the tubercle of Zucker candle, that can also leads to recurrent laryngeal nerve injury that will eventually leads to hoarseness of voice. But we have the ligation of the superior thyroid vessels. So while doing this or while dissecting the superior thyroid vessels, we might gonna injure external branch of superior laryngeal nerve that will eventually leads to again certain hoarseness of voice. So our answer in this question would be this one, as the question has been asked, which of the following will not result in a hoarseness of voice after thyroid surgery. Okay.